Hello, I am Tamlin and welcome to Clydesdale Homestead. I'm here for the second part of the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge that I have decided to do this year. And I'm excited to get started. So thank you for joining us. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more about homesteading, pantry management, home cooking, and beekeeping. And let's get started. The first part of the Three Rivers Challenge that I decided to do was clean out my kitchen refrigerator and freezer. And I've done that, and we used up some things that we needed to and organized some things and threw out the moldy, yucky stuff. There was some of that too. So the second part of the challenge that I've given myself this year, because you get to make your own rules with the Three Rivers Challenge, is to organize some of the dry goods we have that we had to buy and then leave as we went on vacation, and they are not properly stored. So especially I have a lot of oats. We make a lot of oatmeal. I have a video about my favorite granola recipe. You can look for that. And before we left, we had an Azure Standard order come in. And if you don't know how Azure Standard works, it's a bulk buying group, and you have to join a drop point in your area. So you join that drop point, and every 1 or 2 weeks an order will be delivered if your group makes the minimum order. So at our last Azure Standard drop, got a notification, we all did, who are members of that drop, that our order was just a few dollars short of being delivered, which means nobody would get their order that week. You'd have to wait until the next drop time. And so I really wanted the things I had ordered, so I quickly added a few more bags of oats to the order than I would usually get in order to bump it up to that minimum level. So I have more oats than I knew what to do with right away. And so now it's time to take care of those oats. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so here are the extra bags of oats that I ordered from Azure Standard. As you can see, they're just in paper sacks. I've watched a lot of pantry videos, and a lot of people just put their paper sacks of bulk items on the shelves. We do not do that here. We have a mouse problem, a mice problem that we've been battling since we moved in over 2 years ago. And so I finally put my foot down and said everything is going to be in mouse-proof containers because I'm over this. So we do not store anything in paper bags. But I bought so many oats that I can't fit them all in my normal storage spot for oats, which is just a 5-gallon bucket. I do have a couple of these larger containers, which I think we figured out are 16 gallons. And I have one for wheat and I have one for rice. I've seen many pantries that have rows and rows of these, and I think it's beautiful and it's awesome. But honestly, we don't have that many people in our household, so there's no reason for us to have that many, even though I really envy those beautiful pantries. But we do go through a lot of wheat because we grind our own wheat flour for bread, and rice. We like rice. But today, as my mom was grinding wheat into flour, my mom lives with us also, and she's our bread maker. We used up the last of the wheat in this container. So I thought, yay, I have an empty container. I can put the oats in there and they'll be safe from mice. So I have a little bet with my husband. I think both the bags are going to fit in this container, and he thinks they won't. So let's see who's right and who gets to clean up the mess. So these are sold as pet food containers, but they are totally food safe, and so no hesitation at all to use them for human food. And they've got the gamma lid, which is great. This is not the scoop it comes with, but it does come with a plastic scoop. So I've got 50 pounds of rolled oats here. We can see it a little bit. cake. That next one's gonna fit. Okay, look at that. It's beautiful. 50 pounds of rolled oats in one of these large containers. So sweet. This will keep all of our oats safe. And we do go through it pretty quickly. So put that on there. Might even change the label. All right. I'm going to ask my hubby to lift this up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you film that?
Okay, we've got the oats all put away. So I'm going to take you on a little tour of my working pantry and show you what's in here and what will be the third part of my Three Rivers Pantry Challenge for me personally. Okay, so in this house that we bought, the laundry room is the mudroom and the pantry. It's quite a large room, so we decided to make this our pantry because it is right off of the kitchen. So it works great for coming in here to get ingredients, and of course we have to deal with the laundry and the boots because it is winter, and so we get all the boots and stuff in here too, so which makes it's a nice room. I really do appreciate it. So okay, well, let's start on the pantry tour of my working pantry. We got the oats put away in the large Gamma container. Down here I have my other 5-gallon buckets with items that we use a lot of, dry items. So we've got flour, and that is more oats. And extra oats that wouldn't fit in the 5-gallon bucket. 75 pounds is a lot of oats that we just bought. And then back there I have other 5-gallon buckets. That one has lentils. That one is garbanzo beans, dried beans, and I have sugar back there. Okay, and some quick oats. We don't use quick oats very often at all. Maybe if I make some cookies or something. We've got sweet potatoes that we grew this year. That is one of my main goals. I always say in gardens to grow what grows well in your area so you have a better chance of success. But I really like sweet potatoes, and so I'm trying to figure out how to grow sweet potatoes in North Idaho, which can be a little bit tricky, but I'm working on it. Okay, then our store-bought canned goods. When we moved into this house, it was fall of 2020, and we had eaten down as much of our food storage as possible before the big move. We moved to Idaho from the Dallas, Texas area. And it was kind of a bit an uneasy time, and we had a large gap of time between when we bought this house and when we actually got to move in. And so my aunt came and stayed here for us, which was really sweet. And so I was able to get groceries delivered to this house before we actually moved in, so we could start up our supply of food, since we were moving at the beginning of winter to the mountains with basically no food storage at all. And that made me nervous. So we stocked up on a lot of store-bought canned goods, and we are working our way through them and replenishing as needed, but there are a lot of things that we probably won't restock in the future. So let's go here. We've got little odds and end cans: water chestnuts, mushrooms, olives, bamboo shoots, mandarin oranges. Nobody eats those. My husband says he does, but he really doesn't. We've got pears, refried beans, some soups, corn, tomatoes, canned pumpkin. I will continue to buy that. What is that, olives? Yeah, olives. I have one person in the house who likes olives. Coconut milk, I will continue to buy that. I like to use that. Pineapple, we don't really use that. Once that's gone, I won't be replenishing that. Same with the fruit cocktail. We don't even eat that. Canned peaches, they're okay, but we like to make our own home canned peaches. And now that we've found some orchards to buy peaches from, once these are gone, I may not restock them unless we have a bad peach year. Up here, like my box, it is not actually an explosive. Oh, got some packages of ramen in there, which I will not be replenishing either. I found a different brand of ramen flavoring that doesn't have MSG in it, so I prefer that. Some of our home canned things. This is actually a choke cherry syrup from a friend. Thank you, Tammy. And some squash. That's from 21, so we need to eat that up. Then back there, I think I have some more broth canned up. This brings me to the third part of my pantry challenge, is to organize the jars. Just last week, 2 weeks ago, I don't know, earlier this month, I was given 3 boxes of quart jars. So that's 3 dozen more jars. I didn't really have a place for, but you never pass up jars. Nice canning jars. And then since we got our freeze dryer this summer, we've been packaging a lot of freeze-dried foods in jars, and we bought a whole bunch of 2 quart jars also. So we have more jars this year than we've ever had before, and I don't have a good place to put them all yet. I don't have them sorted. So this is silly to have all these empty jars up here. They need to go down with the empties. I need to bring full jars up here, bring up some peaches, and have this a better working pantry. Speaking of the freeze dryer, this is freeze-dried spaghetti sauce, which is really cool. You just add water. I really enjoyed making things with the freeze dryer. Pizza sauce, something I don't normally buy, but we happened to be at a grocery store and they were on sale. I bought a bunch. We do make pizzas every Friday. This is soups that I bought, again, in fall of 2020 because I was worried about food storage. We do not eat them. I need to donate these. I think they're kind of yucky. My son doesn't like soup. My mom can't eat carrots. We just need to donate those. We do have a lot of tomato products. It's difficult for me to grow enough tomatoes. We use a lot of tomatoes, but we were able to freeze dry a ton of tomatoes this year. So I don't worry about stocking this up again. Got some, what is that, random tortilla chips and peanuts. Those are for the birds, actually. And extra egg cartons. Over here we have a bunch of bulk spices because I didn't know quite what to do with those. Some random cornmeal, cornstarch. And these that feels like it's empty. Just take care of that. Okay, this is my vinegar and oil shelf. We like to use pecan oil. I know it's not very common, but we were introduced to this in Texas at a pecan orchard, and it is wonderful. We use this a lot, and every year we order a gallon and go through that in a year. I like that a lot. This is cheap olive oil, and that is cheap olive oil. I honestly bought those for soap making. We don't actually eat that stuff. I do have some regular olive oil that we use. This is also from the same company as the pecan oil vinegar. It's delicious. I love this stuff. So even though we live far away now, we still buy that. Coconut oil. What's that? Oh, avocado oil, like that. I think that's a rice wine vinegar. Yep. Lemon juice, lime juice, some ghee. I need to use that up. I made a bunch of my own ghee, so I need to use that up. Some apple cider vinegar and regular distilled vinegar. Then I've got not wheat, oats, some powdered milk that my mom uses for bread making, and the rice, and I think that's some dried beans back there. And over here, again, making sure everything is in a mouse-proof container. The last straw was when I found that the mice had gotten into my chocolate. And that's it. I couldn't take it. And they were up on this shelf. So the mice got up that high and ate my chocolate. And that was not okay. So everything is in a mouse-proof container. We really don't have trouble with mice all the time, but months go by and all of a sudden we find evidence and it's just not cool. So down here behind our boots is honey. That's honey that we harvested this year. I usually save about 3 gallons for myself. That's about 2.5 right there. So we've got plenty of honey since we're halfway through the year. Well, the harvest season here last year, I believe we harvested at the end of July. So we're still getting used to the harvest season here compared to where we lived in Dallas. Jams and jellies. We don't eat a lot of jam and jelly, so those last us quite a long time, actually. This is some creamed honey, got a little bit of maple syrup. This is a jar of Texas honey that I saved because it was so delicious that year. It was my favorite. And you can see it starting to crystallize. I should just probably start eating it. A large bucket of creamed honey that was a gift. And some brown sugar, powdered sugar. Up here we have our canned meats. Got tuna, some salmon, which isn't really worth it. Just buy tuna. To me, it tastes the same. Some beef and some pulled pork. Sardines and kippers and herring. My husband loves the stinky fish. He will eat a can of stinky fish and stink up the whole house, and my son likes it too. So lucky me, but it's very good for them. And so we stock it, and they can just grab a can of fish for lunch sometimes. They do that. And then peanut butter. Again, we don't eat a lot of peanut butter either, although I have nothing against peanut butter. But that's something that I like to stock up because it lasts a long time and it's good. So these containers were what I got for my solution to mice, and I drilled holes in some of them to act as a potato bin and one for onions and garlic. So I did drill those holes myself. And so far that's worked pretty well. So here I've got Asian foods. My husband got a label maker recently. He loves it. Some seaweed noodles and stuff. This is the ramen seasoning that I do like. And we usually have just some plain ramen noodles also. But I liked the ingredients better than the regular packages of ramen. So it's a little bit better. Potatoes. Oh, I forgot I have that sweet potato. That needs to be eaten up. And onions and garlic. Some random things, almond flour, steel cut oats. Don't use a lot of almond flour. My husband was doing keto for a while, and he made some pizza crust with that, which is pretty good pizza crust actually. And then pasta. We eat very little pasta. I only buy this one kind shape. And so we have that once a month maybe. The chocolate bin. Ta-da! Mice cannot get in to my chocolate bin. We have a nice fire pit, and we like to invite friends over for s'mores, and so we always keep a lot of chocolate bars on hand. Dried fruit bin. These on top are a dried Asian pear that we made this summer. They are really good. I love those. Some raisins. Okay, I need to get rid of the raisins. Nobody's gonna eat those. Behind there are, oh, that fell over, some cocoa powder. So more chocolate. And then more empty jars, because I just stuck them somewhere because I didn't have anywhere to put them. That is dried cherries. Someone gave us a bunch of little snacky things at Christmas time. That's the rest of them. This is usually almonds, popcorn. And then with our freeze dryer, we've been playing with some different types of snacks. Those are the freeze-dried Skittles. I don't care for them. They're probably going to be shared with when kids come over to play. They're okay. Up here we have some condiments, chocolate sauce, tartar sauce, only my mom likes that, some barbecue sauces. Then this is our salsa that we freeze-dried. Made the best salsa this summer. Such a great recipe. I'll try to find a link for that from Retired at 40. He simply takes all the vegetables and roasts them, blends them up, and just freeze-dry it. Super easy. So all we do is dump some of this out into a little bowl, add some water, and mix it up. Fresh salsa. It's amazing. So we've already gone through one. Mango salsa. Got some mustard, some Worcestershire sauce, more empty jars that don't need to be there, some salad dressings, soy sauce, yeast. Is that full? No, that's empty. I usually buy the big bricks of yeast and then divide them up into old empty jars. Some artichoke hearts, garbanzo beans. I canned these. These are the Tattler lids. I like to use those. And we didn't go through the garbanzos as quickly as the black beans and the kidney beans. So those are almost gone. That's good. And then I do want to mix some more canned beans this winter. Pickles. I made pickles this summer. Lots of dill pickles. We've got a lot of dried herbs. These need to be organized a little bit better. Again, more empty jars need to be put away. Store-bought pickles that I had to resort to buying before I got cucumbers in this summer. And this is one of the reasons why I decided I really needed to make homemade pickles. Right there. Product of India. Why in the world do we need to get our dill pickles from India? I don't know. Seems kind of silly to me. This is bread and butter pickles that I made several years ago, but my husband's the only one who likes those, so that's why I still have quite a few cans of those. Then up top, I've got some salt. That's a Redmond salt. I like to have that kind of salt. It's really yummy. Some of our, a sealer thingy, whatever that's called, to seal Mylar bags and plastic bags. Impulse sealer. These I like to keep on hand. They're just empty disposable containers for taking a meal to someone who is sick or maybe had a baby. They don't want to have to worry about bringing back a dish to you, so they just put it in a disposable pan. They can keep it, throw it away, whatever. And then up here we have crackers. Oh, and some random stuff too. Looks like sunflower seeds. I'm gonna guess that's more hemp hearts. So stuff I just shoved in a bin to make it mouse proof. And over there, that's more of our s'mores kit. So that's marshmallows and graham crackers that we keep on hand for when people come over, and that's some gum that I thought would be a good idea. Nobody likes it. So, so this is our working pantry upstairs near the kitchen, and it's pretty good right now. I just need to get rid of all the empty jars, organize them, and bring up some jars that are full, and see what I can do. So we do have another storage area in our basement where we keep additional canned goods and things that need to stay cool. And that will be part of the next step of my challenge. I have a lot of winter squash that needs to be organized and more of the empty jars. So thank you so much for joining me as I organize my pantry and eat through the things that need to be eaten up so I can make better decisions for our household. Let me know if you're doing this challenge also. I'd love to hear about it, love to watch your videos. So please comment and let me know what you're up to. Thanks, have a great day.